Thank you, Mr. Allred, the gentleman from Texas. My colleague just said, worried about Trump. The Democrats are not worried about Trump taking down speech if he's reelected. We're worried about him taking down people if he's reelected. He's already silenced many of those on that side of the aisle. So many of the Republicans that I came here to Congress with are afraid of saying half of what they would really like to say about President Trump or about a lot of other issues because has a base that they feel afraid of, that they may lose their political positions if they have true free speech in that party. So we're not worried about him taking down people's speech. At this point, he's been emboldened enough to believe that he can take people down. And that's the real fear. And that's why I have no problem with Ms. Richardson, Mr. Fang, Mr. Lykanov, is that? Lukianov, being here to be witnesses. The information they're giving is interesting. It's something we should consider. But there are other issues going on also that we can have a discussion about in this committee, and you won't. That's what's incredulous about the fact that we've been doing this 6 times, is that you haven't interspersed it with any other topic. That's the concern. But I wanted to ask the ambassador about an agency that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And of course, I'm a little biased. I worked at the Department of Justice for a Republican president as a Republican political appointee. I worked in the Civil Division for Robert McCallum, who later became President George W. Bush's ambassador to Australia. I worked for Larry Thompson, the Deputy Attorney General, worked for James Comey, who at the time was the Deputy Attorney General. And Mr. Trump, President Trump, has said he would use the DOJ and actually attempted to use it as his own personal law firm when he was president. He tried to bully prosecutors to prosecute his friends, out of prosecuting his friends and MAGA loyalists. He pressured the DOJ to target Democrats and political opponents. He tried to force senior DOJ leadership to pursue election fraud cases in the states he lost to Joe Biden. If he gets a second term, he's made it clear that those disturbing actions are just the beginning. There are walls between the White House and DOJ, intentionally built to keep our prosecutors objective and our law enforcement system trustworthy. He wants to tear that wall with his presidency. Ambassador Eisen, a recent report claims that Trump intends to appoint a loyalist to head the DOJ's Office of Legal Counsel who will write an opinion dramatically expanding presidential immunity. Given the appellate court's decision today, what we understand about presidential immunity, can you explain to the American public what that would mean to our democracy?
It would mean danger, grave danger, Ms. Plaskett. The Office of Legal Counsel are lawyers. They are the in-house law firm, essentially, of the Department of Justice, of the federal agencies, and of the executive branch. The opinions that they offer on the law govern what the executive branch does. I didn't always agree with them when I was in the White House, and I had to deal with them. But they ultimately say what the law is. And if they were to say that a president had the absolute immunity to order SEAL Team 6 to commit an assassination, today's opinion, as important as it is, a milestone in American law that the DC Circuit has given us, but as important as it is, it only applies to former presidents. If I may say, that's why I think the Supreme Court may, we don't know, they may deny cert. It's a very narrow holding today. That, unfortunately, leaves a wide field of battle, and I know that my friends do not want that kind of, on either side of the aisle, do not want that kind of power for the federal government. Very dangerous.
Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman